second left. McNabb out of the corner, moves it. Fiala gets to it, a shot taken, stop the rebound, they score! It's Kirill with another thrill!
Second goal at the 7, Madison the single back. Cousins to throw with time to the end zone, caught and a touchdown! Tyler Conklin with his first of the year.
I'm not going to ever change my ways to fit an agenda or narratives that people have for me or they want me to be. I'm going to always continue to be me.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, baby. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Look. Oh, this crowd is awesome. Thank you, crowd. You guys are wonderful. Actually, why don't you give yourself a round of applause again? Yeah, there you go. Just for yourselves, because you are such a wonderful audience. You're probably the best audience that we've ever had on the show that we call FuzzJockRadio. I am one of your hosts, Fuzzy, and we have other hosts. We don't have guests on the show. We just have hosts with the most. They're ghosts and Hess, and we call them Hess. The hosts, the Hess. I'm one of them, Fuzzy, and we have C-Dubs.
Hi, I'm C-Dubs.
Out in LA. And then tonight we have our friend Eric out in Seattle.
That's right. Welcome back for the first time once again, beloved regular Eric Blake.
How's it going?
So happy to have
How's
you.
it going, everyone? What's going on? What's the haps? We've been doing this for a while. We're in season 5. This is episode 3. We like to start the show. I'm gonna actually hold on. Let me move you down here.
Let me over
move
there.
this up here. I gotta do some window management here because I'm looking up at you guys, and I don't like looking up, and I don't even have my notes in front of me. Man, it's like we need a producer or something
ready.
here. We're not ready. What a lackluster start to the show. What a lackluster start to the show. No, okay. Do we start over? No, we don't start over.
No, start all over. Start from the beginning. Play the sounder.
No, we don't.
Talk radio.
This has all been planned. This is a bit. Don't worry, guys. This is a bit. Like, I actually had my windows and the walls set up correctly in my drawers. What? No. So, this is FuzzJockRadio. We're not a music podcast. We're not we're not. I'm
We're not
Fuzzy.
a lot of things, but we are a sports podcast.
Kind of. We are.
Yeah.
We're not sports experts. Some of us don't even really like watching sports, but we'll talk to you about sports, as you know, because you've been with us for 5 seasons, and man, you're like, Fuzzy, we did it. We did introduce everybody, didn't we? Everybody's here.
You don't have any surprise guests coming for you, Fuzzy. I wouldn't do that to you. And we established last time I was on, this is not a pug cast, so she's in bed. Pug update. Pug update. My pug is asleep.
So how we like to start the show is talk about what we did this last week. And Eric, when was the last time you were on the show?
Ooh, it was right before you guys, 2 episodes before season 4 took a hiatus. So
The penultimate.
The penultimate.
before the penultimate.
Okay.
Oh,
So
okay.
the penultimate.
The Penelope ultimate.
If you can't get enough of beloved regular Eric Blake, you go back to season 4. I believe the episode is called "This Is a Sports Podcast."
So what's you been up to? What you been up to since then? How's it been going?
Since then, a lot of stuff has actually happened. As you mentioned on one of the previous podcasts, me and some friends went in on some Kraken season tickets. You can see
that's
my
right.
brother bought me this
jersey.
brother bought me this beautiful jersey because it is
Oh.
my birthday season.
Oh, that's what that is. Okay, so the listeners can't see it. So I will explain it. It's a jersey, like a hockey jersey, right? It's like
I
one
I
of
think
those.
it's called a sweater.
Guys, this is
which
this
has
is not
long
for the
sleeves.
podcast audience, but
And
it even has the little strap that goes around your something.
Your pads.
Yeah, it's for like a butt pad.
It's
Yep.
like a butt pad strap.
Yeah, that's an authentic sweater.
And it's like dark. Is that dark blue? Like a navy, like dark blue with a light blue
Or the
S. a teal,
Now,
if you will.
each of these colors does
And a
have
couple oranges in
some
it.
sort of pun kraken color name.
Oh, really?
I believe it's
Oh,
called
and there's
Deep
anchors on
Blue.
the shoulders. That's really neat.
So deep sea blue is the dark, and then the light is ice blue, and then the in between is soundless blue.
That's nice.
Ooh.
That's
Yeah.
very, very nice. C-dubs, how's your week been since the last time we seen you?
Well, my week's been terrible. I have been
Whoa.
absolutely
Oh,
sick, just awfully
Oh, no.
sick. Luckily it's not COVID. I've taken 2 tests to make
Good.
sure of that.
It is.
But it's the first time I've been
sixth
sick in
season.
like 2 years, so
That's got to be scary.
yeah, it was. It was very scary. Still is a little, but
Wow.
I'm starting to finally come around the corner and I'm getting better.
Well, I hope you can feel better here soon.
Thank you.
That's been really worrisome for me. I'm just like, why is my friend sick? That should never happen ever again. And now that the COVID exists, nobody should ever get sick ever. Right?
But we want
Personally affected by this, Charlie. Glad to hear you're doing better.
Fuzzy, how's your week been?
Oh, I haven't even started last week yet. It's like I'm just basically kind of still sitting here. I don't know what that means, but it's just kind of the way it goes. Sometimes is where, Fuzzy does the fuzzy things, and we just kind of sit around and don't start the week until 2 weeks late.
Are you ready for some football?
Football
ready for
season
some
is
football?
here. That wasn't rude, right? Right? No, that wasn't rude.
No, I was gonna say I gotta remember to push the pause button and then push play afterwards so that you don't just sit there for the whole week.
People,
It was perfectly timed. I was ready for football.
good. I'm really happy. The Monday Night Football just got done. That was the Dallas Cowboys versus the
Edmonton
Yeah.
Eagles. No, I mean Philadelphia Eagles.
Philadelphia Eagles. And Dallas kicked the shit out of them.
Oh, 10 times types of different dog shit out of them. It was awful.
It was almost a
Sound trouncing.
It was like 41-20 or something. I don't remember.
It was at one point a palindrome, which was beautiful, and then they had to go and score that darn touchdown and get the extra point.
Explain to our listeners what a palindrome is, because not everybody knows.
Palindrome is the same thing forwards and backwards. So like the word Anna is a palindrome.
Or the sentence, "Go hang salami, I'm a lasagna hog."
That is a palindrome sentence, correct?
That's a really awesome sentence. Can you say that again, please?
Folks, get your pencil and paper out and write this down, because you're not going to believe it. Go hang salami, I'm a lasagna hog.
Go hang salami, I'm a lasagna hog. I like lasagna a lot. I would say that lasagna is one of my favorite foods, and everybody am I going to give up one of my secrets right now? I think so. Everybody knows that I love tacos. But my favorite food.
Wow, that's a really lock and key secret. I'm surprised you came clean with that.
My favorite food is lasagna.
Oh.
I love tacos, but my favorite food is lasagna.
Have we ever discussed that that's my situation too? Have we ever actually had that conversation?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
My favorite food is lasagna, but I eat tacos all the time, and that's what people would assume is my favorite.
I love tacos.
Yeah. Eric, are you the same way, or are you different?
Everyone kind of thinks of me as a lasagna guy. A lot of layers.
Definitely a
meat, cheese.
lasagna
Lots of
hog.
layers.
My favorite's actually tacos.
So you're reverse.
I'm like a palindrome of you guys.
Yeah, you're the palindrome. You're in the middle to keep it so that it goes forward and back.
Taco
Yeah.
cat.
Taco cat. There you go. Boom.
That's
Race
palindrome.
car.
Okay, so we played Eric's Seahawks. I didn't play Eric's Seahawks. But
I thought that was you out there.
But the Vikings played the Seahawks this weekend, and we got our first win. So we're now
Win.
1-2. How do you feel about that, Eric?
Well, I'm a bit of a Vikings fan as well, so it's always tricky to watch that game. But I was happy to see the Vikings get a win, and the Seahawks has work to do. So, seeing them lose and come away with some lessons, they kind of needed that. It was honestly just nice to see the Vikings fans be loud and get a win in that stadium. It was awesome.
We also have the same winning loss record now, 1-2. And so you could probably like move those numbers around, and that could be a palindrome as well. Right? Kirk Cousins had 38 attempts and 30 completions for 323 yards and 3 touchdowns. Alexander Mattison had 26 carries, 112 yards, 4.3 average. Justin Jefferson, 9 yards, 118, or 9 receptions, 118 yards, 13.1. Yeah. So
and Tyler Conklin.
Tyler
7
Conklin.
receptions, 70 yards. That's really good for him.
And he got his first touchdown for the season.
Mm-hmm. Good for him.
That's really pretty awesome. So with tonight's Monday Night Football game being finished, we now have the Bills 2-1, Raiders 3-0, Bengals 2-1, Titans 2-1. Where's the next one? Eagles are
1-2. Cowboys 2-1.
Washington 1-2. Giants 0-3. Rams 3-0. Cardinals 3-0. 49ers 2-1. Seahawks 1-2. Packers 2-1. Bears 1-2. Vikings 1-2. Lions 0-3. Panthers 3-0. Buccaneers 2-1. Saints 2-1. Falcons 1-2. I forgot. We haven't had a season during football season since the last time that we had a season during the football season, and I forgot just going through the roster, going through the not the roster
standings.
But the standings. That's really boring.
Yes,
just to say off those.
There's some important stuff in there as far as just look at the NFC West. Is they all started off with a win, so it was already going to be a hard year for all of them. And so Seahawks, they're at the bottom right now. They've got some work to do, but the Rams and Cardinals are looking pretty awesome. I think Matt Stafford over on the Rams, it's just wow, he is proving that trade, that definitely went one way.
Yeah, that for sure. And I will say this too about the Vikings victory against the Seahawks, because the NFC West is the strongest division in all of football. They've played the Vikings 8 times under Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll's tutelage. This is the first time they've ever beat them. So
it says a lot.
The one time out of 8 is all we could do. That's a fluke. As great as the team played, and I do give them a lot of credit for what they did this week, considering they played against the Seahawks, who's a very good team. You're bound to get one out of that. You're bound to finally get one, and we did. We got it. We finally got it.
So fluke.
Go Vikings.
So fluke.
Could be.
So I am really excited. We have a brand new segment coming up. And it's going to be so great because it's a little bit sexy,
Blow, chicka, blow, blow.
Fantasy Corner with Eric. Fantasy, right?
Blow, chicka, blow,
Fantasy
blow.
Corner.
Guys,
Blow, chicka, blow,
guys,
blow.
you're going too sexy. It's not sexy.
What?
Blow, chicka, blow,
fantasy.
blow.
Guys, it's fantasy football.
But I got this.
Chicka, blow, blow.
I got the sounder for it. Bow,
Blow,
chicka,
chicka,
bow,
blow,
wow.
blow.
Eric's Fantasy Football.
We're talking about fantasy football, guys.
So what's up,
Okay.
bro?
So who's on your shit list and who's on your good list this week?
Everybody's always on my shit list, guys.
You play in enough leagues, I guess, right?
A lot of defenses out there underperforming. Let's see. I would say on the big ones on the shit list, probably the Chiefs defense, and I would say Robbie Anderson. Just because Robbie Anderson is on a lot of people's roster, and he really shit the bed this week.
Not a big surprise.
Not a good pickup. Even if you're desperate at wide receiver, I wouldn't say.
I want to just say I got some shout outs for Melvin Gordon, who saved my ass. I picked him up off the waiver wire last second and threw him in, got me 20 points. So he's on my good list right now.
Melvin Gordon had quite the week. Had some backups not do quite as hot as they were. I was my team kind of was leaning on CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard in tonight's game, and they did not produce a lot of points. They really aired the ball out to a lot of different receivers, and Ezekiel Elliott just running through that defense like Swiss cheese. Very commanding performance on his end.
It was like Oprah giving out the holes there.
Yep.
I also want to say shout out to my league, Jesse. Thank you for the pity win. I really appreciate having a victory. It'll be probably my only one all season. So
is that the
thank you for
same person that made one of our sounders?
No, that's a different Jesse.
Okay, well, shout outs to that Jesse.
This Jesse wouldn't do that.
You know what I have to say about fantasy football? I got
some
stuff to say
about
fantasy football.
Your fantasy.
Fuck it.
Oh.
So Justin Tucker breaks the NFL field goal distance record this week with 66 yards. Holy shit!
And it bounced off the crossbar and still went over into the goal.
So is that past?
Yeah.
That's past the
Super epic.
That's past the half court line, right?
Yep.
Wow.
Past midfield.
1986. It's like he's like that dude in that book. There's that book that you have to read when you're a kid. That the kid that can kick the field goal anywhere he's hangs out, wherever you guys understand what I'm saying. Anywhere that he hangs out, like he can kick a field goal. So like if he's if he's like, yo, I'm on the field, and he just kicks and it kicks a field goal, and then he's like, well, I'm like at home, and he can kick the football. Yeah, and he can kick a football and will automatically go kick. You guys remember this?
I've never heard of this book.
It's like kick the field goal 100% of the time book. It's pretty neat. It's like there's a story, and then it has like an ending, and then it has like one of those things that you're like, oh, I learned something from it. I don't
like an allegory,
something like that. Yeah, it's pretty neat. It's a pretty neat book. You probably should check it out.
Let me tell you a little story that it does remind me of. Back in one of the last times this record was set, one of the records that he just beat. I'm not sure if it's the record, but in 1970, Tom Dempsey made a 63-yard field goal. Now, here's the funny thing. In the game that the Ravens were at 17, and the Lions were at 17, Tucker kicks 66 yards to make it 19-17. Tom Dempsey kicked it 63 yards to make it 19-17, and they were playing the Lions.
Wow.
We have bad luck of kicking them. They have bad luck of having them kicked against them.
History is poetry. It rhymes. It has happened again.
And it's probably a palindrome.
It's a palindrome.
It probably is.
It's a palindrome.
Just like how I got this note that says that in 1987, the NFL player strike began in week 3. So this week of football in 1987, the NFL player strike began. You know what's really nice about that stat or that nugget of truth? Nugget of truth.
Ooh, nugget.
Is that we can say that next year in week 3 as well.
We can just use it forever,
right?
So that was on this day in history. That was on September 27th, 1987.
Okay, so like
that the NFL player strike began. Yeah.
So the time wheel has gotten back to the beginning of the time.
We'll see what game is played next year, September 27th.
You know how the time wheel works. Okay, so
baseball is fun again in Minnesota.
It is going to be fun again in Minnesota very soon because the season's almost done and we can start concentrating on the World Series season of 2022, which is going to be a lot of fun to prepare for. The Twins had a game yesterday. They lost 5-2. The lost to the Blue Jays the game before that, 6-1, and then they won the game before that, 3-1, and 7-2 the game before that, and then the game before that they played the Cubs and it was 5-4. So that means 1, 2, 3, 4. We had 4 out of 5 games we won in the last 5 games. Stats for you. And then tomorrow we play the Tigers, and then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Count them, 6. I think Master Splinter, remember that guy? I think he's going to like this segment a lot since I just counted. He's going to be like, man, I think he's going to be like, man, Fuzzy just counted really well. But yeah, they have 6 games left, which means that will take us to October 3rd.
Final day of the season. And then there could be, it sounds like there could even be an extra day of baseball because the Giants and Dodgers might tie come October 3rd, meaning if that happens, there would be a game October 4th to be the tiebreaker to find out who wins the division and who goes to the wild card game.
Ooh, and then
we could actually get extra baseball.
Does that
not
mean
Twins baseball, but
I was just gonna ask if it was
but,
gonna be,
but
the
extra
Twins get to play
baseball.
Game. Well, maybe if they add another day like that, the Twins could play the Saints.
Ooh,
wouldn't that be fun? They'll be like, well, we need to round it out, and let's play the Twins.
Yeah.
Let's play the Saints.
Yeah.
There's extra football this year. Why not extra baseball?
Yeah.
And it looks like the Dodgers just got their 100th win for their organization, so that's really awesome. Congratulations!
100 wins this season so far.
Something
the
interesting
season.
about that.
This season, okay. What's that?
Speaking of the Dodgers, this day in history, in 1992, on September 27th, the Dodgers, for the first time in history, clinched last place.
Wow! On this day?
On September 27th, 1992.
So
wow, what a historic day!
Yeah,
they've come a long way.
It's because the clock of time starts and ends on this day for a lot of things, and that's why it happens today. It's pretty neat because it makes it. I got it. Today is the palindrome. Today is a palindrome day.
The time email.
FuzzJockRadio. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it. Basketball, gimme the ball because I'm gonna dunk it.
FuzzJockRadio.
I wish they could all see us.
FuzzJockRadio.
I don't. I'm glad that
We're all
people can't
dancing
see us.
around to that, just so you all know. It's beautiful.
If you go to our YouTube, you'll just get audio.
Yep.
But you can download us from YouTube because we need more downloads. Minnesota Timberwolves were in the news. They fired the basketball operations Gerson Rosas on Wednesday, less than a week before training camp, and yet another leadership change for the franchise, often in flux. Owner Glenn Taylor announced that the Timberwolves parted ways with Rosas in a 2-sentence statement that revealed no explanation for the dismissal just after just 2 seasons. This is via the AP, by the way. As an organization, we remain committed to building a winning team that our fans and city can be proud of. Rosas became the highest-ranking Latino to run an NBA team when he was hired in May 2019 after a long tenure in the front office with the Houston Rockets. Rosas replaced Tom Thibodeau, who held the dual role of head coach in basketball, and he was handpicked by our coach, Finch.
Yeah, and it sounds like it might have been he was having inappropriate relations with people and stuff like that. Is that type of situation is what it sounds like it's leaking out. But we don't, I mean, till it all comes out, you know. That's what it sounds like.
That would make sense of why it was just like blatant, quick, and they didn't make really a statement on what happened. That would totally make sense because they can't really say anything, due to legal actions that might
Minnesota
be happening.
fans don't want to hear about that. They hate gossip.
Yeah, but poor Towns, like he has been going through so many changes, and hopefully with the new ownership, they realize that that's been going on to Towns and they take care
Give
of
him
him.
some love.
It's gonna be weird. It's going to be very strange. I'm not gonna hold my breath. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know. You can't know what's going to happen for the future of the Timberwolves. I don't know where else to go with that because
we're all in influx with the Timberwolves right now because for all we know they're going to move in a few years, even though they said they're not gonna. I mean,
with the history of our Minnesota sports teams and new ownerships taking over, it's never been good. Everybody's moved away, even though that they're saying that they're not. I believe I trust Kevin Garnett's assessment of Glenn Taylor and of him being in Garnett's words, a snake. I believe that, and it just feels like there's something going on without us knowing it. There's something in the background going on. Do you think one of those reporters that are unethical and make friends with the team and the owners knows that they're going to actually be moving or is it too far out? Do you think we're too far out right
they
now?
probably already have season tickets at the new stadium.
Uh-huh.
Where they'd go though? I'm just trying to think of cities that don't have
they
a
want to go to Florida.
basketball team. Cities
They
that
want
don't have
another
a
one in
basketball
Florida.
team just built a beautiful arena. Trying to think
No.
of the city.
No.
Maybe
No.
Seattle.
Yeah.
No.
Come on over. We go.
No.
We want the
Timberwolves
Supersonics again.
Timberwolves would, I don't know. It could be called the Wolves, I guess.
The Supersonic Wolves.
The Sonic Wolves.
The Seattle Wolves. That doesn't sound too bad, actually.
Yeah.
It got a ring to it.
I thought it was Florida they'd go to, but you're right. They've got that arena.
It's absolutely Seattle. It's absolutely Seattle. That's absolutely where they're going if they're going anywhere. Speaking of going anywhere, there might be our buddy Andrew Wiggins. Remember him? He used to be a Timberwolf. He's a Golden State Warrior. He's been told that he must get vaccinated if he wants to play home games this season. He had applied for a religious exemption, and the NBA totally just denied him. And he currently, it's looking like he can't play any home games because of the restrictions that are happening in California.
Yep. San Francisco specifically, you can't have because they're saying if you're going to have all of the referees, staff, everyone else has to be vaccinated, so do the players. That's what they're saying. That's the simple way to put what they're doing here in or at least in San Francisco, is they're like, if everyone else has to be vaccinated, so do you. If you're not, you can't play. They're making it that simple.
And that was your Wiggins update. So to kind of attach onto that, remember NBA legend Kareem Abdul-Jabbar? He called for unvaccinated players to be removed from the teams. He says, we have a quote here that what I find especially just disingenuous about the vaccine deniers is their arrogance at disbelieving in immunology and other medical experts. He told Rolling Stone, yet their child was sick or they themselves needed emergency medical treatment, how quickly would they do exactly what those same experts told them to do? So he's just calling out the hypocrisy of people not getting the vaccine and not quote unquote trusting their doctors. Well, they'll trust their doctors when they're on their deathbed. When they're really sick, where do you go?
I love this. I think this is great for Kareem Abdul-Jabbar to be calling this out. I think this is something that should be enacted. They have the ability to do this. And I think they should. If players aren't going to look out for their own safety and the safety of everyone else that they play with, they can get a different job.
Because to remind everybody, we're still in a pandemic.
Yeah.
This has not
I
gone
can get a
away.
different job. If I don't want to get vaccinated, I can go get a different job, but I got vaccinated. I don't need to.
Well, the bottom line is the pandemic's
Yeah.
still happening. A lot, like I hear a lot of people say, well, you know, during the pandemic, this happened. It's like, no. We're
It is.
still in the pandemic.
Yep.
It's still happening.
Mm-hmm.
And people need to start being responsible and doing stuff about it.
Yep.
We all need to do our part.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And it's getting vaccinated. That's our part.
That's our part.
That is.
That's
It's that
100%
simple.
our part.
Protect the vulnerable adults who can't and the children who can't by us getting vaccinated. That's what our part is. Let's do it. Let's all do it.
So the links were the links were in the WNBA playoffs, and unfortunately, the other day they had lost to the Chicago Sky. Courtney Vandersloot led a balanced attack against the Lynx with 19 points, and wow,
That
that was
game-
an upset. The Lynx was listed as 3rd seeded, and Chicago Sky was 6th seeded. 89-76 in the second round, single elimination.
Yeah, we actually started off the game. It was very close, but we held the lead for a majority of it. And then right before the half, boom, they just started hitting threes, and we could not get enough points to match up. And then the tail of the second half was basically they ran away with it. We never got close after that point.
Yeah,
it was
sucks.
really sad. I watched a lot of that, just hoping they could come through at the last minute, but they couldn't nail those threes, and Sky were. So good on Chicago. They they played better. So good for them.
So, Mr. Seattle Eric, does the Seattle have a WNBA team? Do they want the Lynx as well?
4th seeded Seattle Storm,
Oh yeah,
who
right.
sadly also got kicked out of the semifinals the same day. The Phoenix Mercury beat the Storm, I believe, 85-80 in overtime.
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Great
kind of
game, but they played better. Mercury was 5th seed, and Storm was 4th. So a little closer in ranking and a little closer in score too, kind of what you expect to see. But our Storm is out.
Yeah. This is kind of
Storm is
becoming
cleared
a downer episode tonight, guys.
Let's pick it up.
Not really.
They
liking
did well.
it.
They made it to semifinals. That's excellent for a Seattle team.
Yeah.
So
We
it
always-
looks. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, we always like to see it. That's all
Yeah.
I was gonna say.
It looks like so it's Phoenix won, Chicago won. Yeah. So then now we got WNBA.
Connecticut versus Chicago and Vegas versus Phoenix.
Thanks for reading that chart for me.
Yeah, no problem.
Let's see here, and so that brings us to a segment that I call "We Don't Carry Ads on Fuzz Talk Radio." If you have not noticed, and you're probably sitting there being like, "Well, how do you pay for things?" And I would sit here and tell you, through work, working and stuff. I don't know what I'm trying to say is that all I'm trying to say is that I need to pre-record this ad so it's an actual ad. And then you're like, "Wow, Fuzz, you told us that you don't have ads in your in your programming, but now here is an ad about FuzzTalkShop.com." And FuzzTalkShop.com is a website that you can go to purchase Fuzz Talk Shop or Fuzz Talk Radio or FuzzJockRadio merchandise, and then all that money and those proceeds go back to paying for Fuzz Talk Radio. We don't like ads, and we don't want to put you through ads. FuzzTalkRadio.com.
Just remember, costs nothing to look.
FuzzTalkShop.com. You get away from Facebook. Fuck it. Just go to FuzzTalkRadio.com. And we're not sponsored by anything. That's what I just said. So, okay. Where is that? There it is.
And don't forget.
We all know what that sound means, or what this jingle is. It's time for the
Fuzz Question of the Week.
It's Fuzz Question of the Week time. This is when I ask question. This is when I ask a question. I asked our Hess a question, and then they will answer it. Not at the exact same time. They'll answer it at a separate time. I'll be like, "Yo, Eric, here's the question of the week," and then Eric will answer that question with his answer, not Charlie's, but like his own answer. So make sure to answer your own answer, Eric, and then.
Charlie's answer out of my brain.
And then he'll explain why his answer is that, and then we won't discuss it. We'll just move on, okay? So the Fuzz Question of the Week. Here. Oh, actually, I can do this. Watch. I did something this week, guys.
Fuzz Question of the Week.
Okay. Let's try that again. So this week's... Oh, fuck.
Question of the week.
Okay, guys. This week's
Fuzz Question of the Week
is
This week's sick baseline.
wow. I don't know what's going on there, but
You should look at the button.
I am looking at the button.
You're looking at us.
No, I don't know what's going on anymore. The Fuzz Question of the Week tonight is: if you were to have sex with a monster, which monster would you like to have sex with? C-dubs.
This is one where we could have the same answer.
I'm thinking. That's good.
Go.
King Caesar.
King Caesar, and why?
Beautiful, majestic, beautiful hair, and just big. I don't know, big giant cat.
Okay.
Sounds like that'd be a good one.
Okay. Eric from Seattle. If you had to have sex with a monster, which monster would you like to have sex with?
Ooh, that's a tricky one. My mind instantly goes to kaiju as well, but Charlie got one of those. So why don't I say Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. Great big plant beast, lots of tentacles, big mouth. I'll go
like
Audrey
that.
2.
Okay. Okay. I like that.
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that, you know?
Wait,
You're a monster.
About me? Oh, me? Well, I answered this question in a different podcast. But I said that I don't know. Like I wasn't really sure. I said like I was like Godzilla, and I think Godzilla would probably be too big for me, and that's like really the only like monster I could think of at the time. So and then she's like, well, would you be the bottom? And I'm like, probably.
Now I know we don't
slashing?
Slashing is
Let's move
like
on.
that, you know?
Let's just move on here. NHL time.
Move on to slashing.
That was a really weird Fuzz Question of the Week, and I'm sorry for the listeners.
Wait, it was a really weird what?
Oh wait,
It was my fault.
no.
Fuzz Question of the Week. Fuzz Question of the Week.
That was
Question
hold
of the
on. And that was.
Fuzz Question of the Week.
Oh, I have to say the. Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the.
Fuzz Question of the Week.
There
Man,
we go.
One of these days, where it's good. That's going to be like this.
Fuzz Question of the Week.
I didn't even push the button. One of these days, it's
Change my
going to
answer.
be like the smoothest Fuzz Question of the Week, and everyone's going to be like, "Wow!" It's like, and then I'm going to splice it in past episodes, so everybody's like, "Wow, what a great segment!"
Always sounded like that.
It always
That's
did.
the best.
What is slashing?
Slashing is like that, you know?
Big news in Wild Country.
Woo!
They're not moving to Seattle yet.
Not yet.
But we got Creel. He's locked up. Kaprizov is locked up for the foreseeable future. we led the signed a 5-year contract for $45 million on Tuesday on the eve of NHL training camp. He said that, of course, I'm so happy. It's good for me. It's good for the team. Now I just want to play hockey and to be with my teammates and just play hockey. So, yeah.
It's good this worked out because, man, their negotiations previous to this signing were at a standstill. It sounded like they were not going to have him at all.
Those Russians, man, it sounded like they were stalemated, like you're saying.
Yeah.
They're like, no, we want this. And then we were like, and then the Wild were like, no, we want this. And then it was like getting to the point where the team was like, are we even like friends anymore? And like the rest of the team wanted like to beat each other up. And then they're like, well, I'm going to move to Seattle. And then they're like, oh man, we better sign this Kaprizov because he's supposed to be really, 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 really good. Good. It's supposed to be really good. So
that was a long palindrome.
So that's the news on the Wild. We got Kaprizov. Eric, how is your actual real? Did we already do your news? Or did we talk about it? What's going on?
No, I just mentioned the jersey, which is blank on the back because I don't really have a favorite player yet, and we're the Kraken's still trading some players. We'll see who's with us next year, who makes a big debut this year. But speaking of debut, they did play their first preseason game last night, and they won 5-3 against the Canucks. Pretty good first showing. No Russians scored, so they're good. But we've got Canadians and Americans who are also very good. We had Morgan Geekie with 2 goals, Jared McCann with 1, Ryan Donato with 1 goal. Might recognize him. He was a Wild player for a little bit. Riley Sheehan had a goal. And then quickly on the goalies, Phil Grubauer had 3 goals against, 7 shots against, so 5 saves there. And Chris Streeter played a little less. He had 1 goal against, 3 shots on, and 2 saves. So looking pretty comprehensive as a team. I am still learning hockey, so I didn't really know if any cool power plays happened, but it was exciting. It was fun to watch. And that was in Spokane, which is the eastern part of Washington. So they haven't played in their home stadium yet, and they won't until the actual season starts.
Oh, wow. So all the preseason's done at off-site.
Yes. So their second preseason game tomorrow night, that'll be in Edmonton, Alberta. And their third preseason game is also in Canada. That's at Scotiabank Stadium in Calgary, Alberta.
Nice.
Oh, boy, Calgary.
There's something wrong. What's falling over here?
No, it's Calgary Flames. That's a very historic team.
I'm knocking things over here. I'm not even.
I see that. Oh, my gosh. You knocked over that whole statue. It's a good thing it didn't break.
Everyone we're playing is in our division, I believe. So we're kind of getting a little preview of what some of these opponents are going to look like that we play a couple times a year. And yeah, we'll see if any division rivalries start up. It's exciting to be part of a new franchise because you just don't know, like, are these guys all going to be
your first postseason one will be like that. What's up, Fuzz?
Well, no, it's just keep on saying stuff. I was just going to say that I got the perfect interlude, or what do you call it, the transition piece.
Okay.
It's just like with us in AEW. We started watching AEW from the very beginning, and we were able to watch rivalries blossom and see wrestlers that never wrestled before become like the top dog wrestler, like Darby Allin. He's never wrestled before until AEW, and it was pretty cool. And just like the AEW debut in Minnesota, it'll be the first time that AEW is in Minnesota with Rampage and Full Gear pay-per-view.
That's amazing. Huge news for Minnesota to get that, especially considering it was supposed to be in St. Louis.
Really? Why
It was originally going to be in St. Louis.
Why did it change?
That is a good question. I don't know the answer to that. I will find that out for next week.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's really awesome because AEW has been trying to kind of show that they are competing in big old territories for wrestling.
Yeah, so
like Chicago,
New York, just
New
recently,
York, which we'll talk about in a second too, and then the AWA was really big in Minnesota, and so they want to make another. This is why they keep picking these type of cities to do their big events in, is because they want to show, hey, we're here, and the real wrestling fans are for us.
Yeah, and this is
you've really arrived when you start a pasta chain in the Mall of America. It was Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Pastamania.
Pastamania, that's what it was. I couldn't think of it.
Pastamania.
So
that's not there anymore.
that is happening at the Target Center Friday, November 12th. They confirmed on Monday it will be followed by his pay-per-view show Full Gear at the Target Center Saturday, November 13th. So make sure to get your tickets if you feel safe enough. Make sure you have your vaccine card or done. Make sure you wear a mask to the event, please, because there's going to be a lot of people there. And they say with how many people are at events, COVID obviously is, with how statistics work, COVID will be there. So make sure to wear a mask because there are breakthrough cases. There are very low chances of that, but still, why not just try to protect yourself? And then the Grand Slam, and protect other people around you. Grand Slam was the highest attended non-WWE wrestling show in New York since 1999 with over 20,000 people in person. Wow.
Yep. And that was a vaccination mandated show.
Oh, that's awesome. Not everybody was wearing masks, but everybody had to have a vaccine.
Their card.
Well,
and it had to be a real card.
Yeah.
I was just going to say, I started seeing TikToks and reports of people showing up with fake vaccine cards.
It's true. I mean, even the NFL's dealing with it.
What?
The NFL has a problem with some players are giving in fake vaccine cards.
Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
That's horrible. That's horrible. That's really irresponsible. And
it's happening everywhere. It's horrible.
Well, I'm surprised Wiggins doesn't have one. Well, maybe he's a better person than that. Because that's really bad for people to do that. That's the, like, of course that's going to happen, right? Of course, the black market, the dark. What I don't like the black market doesn't sound right.
Dark web.
The dark web doesn't sound right. Like just
I know.
That's what it's called though. The black market, right? Am saying the right term?
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course, it's going to come up with fake vaccine cards, right? That's what the black market's great at, is circumventing laws. Like in the black market, you're going to find drugs, and you're going to also find whatever on the Silk Roads and stuff. Right?
As a printer who sometimes prints pharmaceutical papers, I'm beyond offended by this because, people put trust in you to, not make illegal shit and use it for bad things and putting people in danger. So it's just very disappointing. I know probably a lot of these people are just printing them off themselves, but anybody doing this, it's just like being a scab and breaking a picket line in 1987. It's a bad look. It's super dangerous, and you're just so irresponsible.
And it's just breaking trust, and it just sucks. It sucks, and I don't know. It's just get your vaccine. It's cheap. It's
free.
It's so much cheaper. So much cheaper than getting a fake vaccine card. Wednesdays. Nope, I said that. No, I did. Nope, I did not. Kenny Omega versus Bryan Danielson got 5-star from David Meltzer. It was an instant classic. Yeah, it was like it was one of the best wrestling matches I've seen, and they barely did anything.
Yeah, because they kept matching each other at every corner. They had a response for the other one's move. There was a reversal fest. It was a over the top bump fest too, but also not spot heavy.
And it was also a welcome to AEW. Like,
oh yeah,
it was like, as in, like, it was like almost a hazing with how hard Kenny Omega was hitting Bryan Danielson's chest. It was
Those
breaking with the chops. Yeah, it was breaking open. It was just beat red, absolutely beat red, and it was like, yeah, welcome to AEW. Here we are.
You're going against the best.
Yeah, and it makes me. And what's great about this match is that it makes it so I can't wait for the next match against the two, because like it's when it's like a real quote unquote real match for like the belt, Kenny Omega is going to flip shit like he always does, and he's going to give Bryan Danielson the best match of his life.
Yes.
And
Agreed.
Meltzer's going to be like, holy fuck. And then that Cornette guy is going to be like, wow, Kenny Omega is the best. Wednesday's live Grand Slam edition of AEW Dynamite drew 1.273 million viewers on TNT. That's 1.273 million viewers.
It's a ton.
And that's not even including the people that like are streaming it behind the scenes. You know, that's just people tuning in via TV.
That's only people in the Nielsen rating.
In the Nielsen rating, even.
Yeah, it's only the people in the
Nielsen rating include streams nowadays?
No.
Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, it doesn't. So there's more.
Wow. Dynamite ranked number 1 on the cable top 150 this week with 0.48 rating in the 14 to 49 key demographic. This is the 5th week in a row that Dynamite has ranked number 1.
So what that means, though, with the 0.48 rating, I mean, that is getting half of the audience of that age group was watching that program, that one program.
Wow.
Like, that's amazing.
The Grand Slam edition.
The other... Yeah, go ahead.
Nope. Grand Slam edition of Rampage ranked number 1 for the night on the cable top 150 with the 0.28 key demo rating. This is up from last week's number 2 rating.
So even on a dead spot, like a Friday night show at 10 p.m. Eastern is getting number 1 highest rated show, or highest in the key demo. So people our age are watching this more than anything else that night.
I don't watch much TV, but what's on Friday night at 10 p.m.?
Well, it's right after it's late it's not late night shows. It's like Adult Swim type programming stuff, and like newer shows like that. And then what was the other thing? It's right after SmackDown ends.
AEW is outselling WWE in New York market ticket sales. The WWE show sold about 750 on the pre-sale, while AEW sold about 4,000 on the pre-sale. 750 versus 4,000, according to fuzzy math, that's a lot. 4,000 is a lot more than 750. WWE Raw's debut in the UBS Arena has sold 2,365 tickets, while AEW has sold 6,167 tickets. According to fuzzy math, that is almost 3 times the amount of tickets.
That's insane.
Do you like how I did that math like that quickly? In addition to outselling WWE in its home base, AEW is also enjoying a 2-week winning streak over WWE Raw in the 18 to 49 demographic. AEW Dynamite beat WWE Raw with this past week, despite Raw featuring 2 WWE Championship matches and Big E's Money in the Bank cash-in. Raw's September 13th broadcast, however, went head-to-head with Week 1 of NFL's Monday Night Football, which will continue to hobble WWE in viewership throughout the fall.
So it's looking
so
like
AEW's
everything's going AEW's way.
Doing the right thing, the right stuff. And one of the right things that they're doing, that they're going to do here in the near future, is that they're going to have a hair versus hair match with Jack Evans versus Orange Cassidy. And then that's going to be fun to watch. It's going to be fun to see Jack Evans get his head shaved because he has really long hair right now. And it's got to be the way it goes.
Absolutely.
Sammy Guevara versus Miro for the TNT title, and we're thinking that. No, there was another thought that that somebody's going to fuck it up for Sammy. Kip Sabian's going to come back and fuck it up.
Oh, that's great. I like that.
Because
Because I've actually been starting to think, you know, who I think might be the next TNT champion?
Who's that?
Malachi Black.
He would be a good replacement of Miro. Absolutely.
Because think the two stories they have going with both characters is that they're undefeated.
And Miro is God's redeemer. And he's going to get his ass kicked by the devil.
Exactly.
Wow.
So
that's exactly what's going to happen.
Thought recently if it wasn't Guevara.
That's what's going to happen if it's not Guevara. Absolutely. If they do that, that's going to be great. Other shows. Talk about other shows. Oh, hey, by the way, even though we don't do ads and stuff, I have another Fuzz Talk Radio ad for you. And this one is about the different shows that we have on FuzzTalkRadio.com. Of course, we have this one, which is I can't type and talk.
FuzzJockRadio.
I can't type and talk at the same time. That's so strange. Because I was trying to do two things at once. But yeah, we have FuzzJock Radio on Monday nights at 10:30, and then we have Mankato to Motown with Nate Rock at 7 p.m. on Wednesday nights, and then Thursday nights we have the Rabbit Hole at 9 p.m. And then on Sunday nights we have Dagger Radio. Oh, I have that. I made a mistake. Looking at my website, I realized that it says the wrong thing. On Sunday nights, we have Dagger Radio from 7 p.m. to 1 a.m. So like I said, Sundays, 7 p.m. to 1 a.m., Dagger Radio. Monday nights, 10:30, FuzzJock Radio. Mankato to Motown, Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. And then the Rabbit Hole, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. So tune into Fuzz Talk Radio. And then we have music playing throughout the entire week and hours and days.
Existence of time.
It's a 24-hour stream, 24 hours. And we try to just, support Mankato and Southern Minnesota music and art and local wares as much as we can. So,
you're listening to Fuzz Talk Radio. Make sure you're well rested with a Casper mattress. Casper mattress. Oh wait, sorry. What?
Hey,
no ads?
We're not sponsored.
No ads?
There's no ads. We're not sponsored by Casper.
I'm getting the signal. No ads. Sorry.
No ads. No ads. That brings us to fuzzy memory trivia.
Yay! Scores are out of control this season, so be careful, Eric. Don't screw it up.
Yep. Shit. So, you guys remember how I've been last season I'm like, okay, I forget things sometimes and I have a note, so I'm going to have a notebook and I'll write things down in my notebook so I don't forget things. Well, I lost that notebook, so then that sucked. So then I decided this season that I was going to write things down on my whiteboard, right? Because bring it back to season 1 when we had a whiteboard before, and here we go. I got a whiteboard, so I wrote down the scores and I wiped the whiteboard off.
Well,
records.
What do we remember? What the score is? Because. Charles?
I mean, I think the only fair thing to do is go back to 0-0 if we don't remember the score.
Well, no, wait. Now that you say 0-0, I think that's what the score was.
Damn it.
It was 0-0, actually. So 0-0. This is fuzzy memory trivia. This is when I ask questions and then the has answer those questions with their answer. Well, actually, it's not really their answer because it's a truth type of answer. Like there's no other answer than the answer that they need to give. So it's not really their answer. It's the answer to the question. It's the question's answer, if you will. And if they get the answer correct, they get a point. If they get it incorrect, they get no points. And they it's not like they lose a point. They just nothing happens. They just move on. And this week we're gonna do a buzz-in.
Okay.
Oh, I got a lot of ash on my hand there. I noticed.
I got this buzzer you mailed me. All right.
Actually, no, we're gonna change it up. It's gonna be a round robin thing, if that's what it's called. Eric.
Round cracking.
I'll just throw this away then.
Eric, yeah. Like it just seemed like you were having a competitive advantage. So with that, and I didn't. No competitive advantage. Put that down. Which NHL, Eric, from Seattle, that's going to steal all the Minnesota teams? Which
regular Eric Blake.
Which NHL team celebrated their 40th anniversary during the 2010-2011 season?
40th anniversary during the 2010 season means an expansion team from 1970?
So
I'm
your
gonna
answer
guess.
Is
I'm gonna guess Winnipeg Jets.
incorrect. The Buffalo
Damn it.
Sabres. Sorry, Charlie.
Oh, Colin would be pissed that we got that wrong.
Charles.
Yes.
At what age did the star NBA point guard Derrick Rose win the MVP award in 2011?
What
are you doing? What are you doing
I'm
over there?
rolling for initiative.
Oh.
No.
In the
What was the
middle of
question?
in the middle of our podcast, huh? You're just gonna start
I
playing
wanted to
D&D?
make sure it was my turn.
Do you think that's professional?
No.
At what age did it's okay. At what age did NBA point guard Derrick Rose win the MVP award in 2011?
Oh, okay. Let's see here.
What are you doing?
24.
Incorrect.
Damn.
Eric? For the steal.
Beloved regular to steal. 26.
Incorrect. 22. Eric.
Oh, I should have gone higher. Lower. I'm ready.
Who was the Mets rookie manager for 2018?
The guy who manages the rookies. His name was Bill Lamont.
Incorrect. C-dubs for the steal.
Jacob deGrom.
Incorrect. Mickey Callaway. I can't believe you guys didn't get
we
that.
both thought of French, but he was Irish.
Yep.
Let's see here. C-dubs.
Yes.
In the movie Field of Dreams, at what baseball stadium did Terrence Mann say he always wanted to play?
Yankee Stadium.
Incorrect. Eric for the steal.
I should know this. It's James Earl Jones. Are they at Fenway?
Incorrect. Ebbets Field.
Oh, the first one.
Oh, Ebbets Field. That's a million years ago.
Yeah, because they're
Since this is a
the
palindrome
players-
episode, can I ask you a trivia?
The players are dead in that movie.
I haven't seen it.
Not to I'm sorry to ruin it.
Wait, it's palindrome episode. Doesn't Eric get to ask you a question?
I got a trivia question for you, and I've got the answer as well.
Okay.
Ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Where is your notebook?
Do 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 do.
He's writing, not on his notebook.
He's writing on the whiteboard.
Oh, so the score is 0-0, and I'm writing it. I'm not writing it down. I'm not gonna lie. I can't. I'm gonna remember next time. Okay, we're just
Charlie?
gonna.
Where's his notebook? It is in his bedside table drawer.
Sorry, the answer is in your car, that little slit next to the passenger seat where you can't really quite reach down in there, and a lot of stuff gets lost in there. It's in there.
Incorrect. It's right here.
Oh, you did it! What?
Well, no, actually, this is just a different notebook.
But it's a notebook.
But it is a notebook. This notebook.
That is what I was asking about.
Yeah. Well.
That's a good question.
With that, fuzzy memory trivia is over. We're still 0-0. You guys need to pick it up
next time.
I'm trying to go 0-0 all season.
You're trying to do that? No.
I mean, no. I'm not trying to. I'm still trying to get them right. I just would like to see us fail that much. Biblically bad or historically.
How do we end this
awesome.
show? Like, how does that work? How do we like? I think it's time.
I think it's time to end by saying, Eric, thank you, beloved regular Eric. Thank you for coming on the show.
Okay. I got it.
Thank you for having me.
No. I got it. Hey, guys.
Yes.
It is the end of the episode and of episode 3, and we need to be like, yo, Eric from Seattle, beloved co-star. It's awesome to have you, man.
It's great seeing you guys again. Great to be on the air. Hello to FuzzTalk Nation.
So what do you got going on?
FuzzJockers are happy to hear you.
What do you got going on this up until the next time we see you?
Just working, hunting for mushrooms, staying dry. Not while hunting for mushrooms, though. And, gonna start going to some Kraken games in October. Gonna maybe go to a Seahawks game, but they're expensive.
Nice.
So maybe not.
Well, good luck with that. We really appreciate you being on the episode. C-Dubs, what do you got going on this next week? How are you doing? Are you gonna feel better, or are you just gonna get over the sickness? What's going on, huh? Tell me.
I'm gonna get down with the sickness. So if you want to get up and come get down with the sickness, just open up your hate and let it flow into me. Oh, sorry. This is not a music podcast.
No,
not a music podcast.
No, it's not.
I am gonna get over this sickness. I'm gonna get back to work, and I'm gonna do stuff.
Okay.
Fuzzy?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm just gonna mention if you go to a big event, make sure that you're vaccinated, and I would really encourage you wearing a mask because with the variants there have been some breakthrough cases, and the kernel of truth here is that you still don't want to get COVID.
I'm not going to ever change my ways to fit an agenda or narratives that people have for me or they want me to be. I'm going to always continue to be me. And at the end of the day, I'm going to be a professional.